Chelsea Football Club know about the secret clause Victor Osimhen has in his contract and are keen apparently to potentially go back in for him in January. But would Victor be open? I think he would be, and I'll explain to you why. Furthermore, Reece James looks set not to be fit for the game back against Bournemouth, and it has caused a meltdown, and Malo Gusto pulls out of international duty, and people are saying we need to play Caicedo right back. I'm going to ask you, are you stupid? On what condition do you need to play Caicedo right back when you have a right back in the squad? Let me tell you guys about this. Furthermore, Romeo Lavia and Cole Palmer are back in training for the Bournemouth game, and Chelsea have got 2 weeks of rest in him, and I'll explain to you why that is imperative. And Ben Chilwell, our vice captain, where's he going? Because the reality is Istanbul is calling him and they're saying he's going to be heading out to Turkey, but I don't believe it. I think he's spending 4 months on the bench. However, before we get started, I need you lot to do me a favor. As soon as you get home, what's the first thing you do? You wash your hands. You all know the script. So what do I need you to do when you come to the Kavkas View? Hit that like button, right? For the regular watchers, that's how you support the channel on a regular basis. And for the new ones, subscribe to the channel because clearly you're enjoying what you're seeing. You're going to get the news in less than 15 minutes and then you can move on with the rest of your day. Let's get started. Victor Osimhen was the saga of the window, right? Nobody can take that away from him. Nobody can take that away from Chelsea. Nobody can take that away from Arsenal. The people that were interested in the Victor Osimhen saga, every single day you wake up, there's news. However, the window is now closed and Victor Osimhen is still in the news. It tells me one thing. The guy is a superstar, especially off the pitch. Like the traction his name generates, he needs to be proud of himself. What has happened? Well, Victor Osimhen has officially joined Galatasaray. He has joined them on a loan and he has a release clause according to Fabrizio Romano. This release clause is lowered to 75 million euros. He has agreed this with Napoli if 10 clubs come in for him. Yes, 10. 3 of them have been released according to Turkish outlet, being Arsenal, Liverpool, as well as Chelsea. Fabrizio has also indicated that Chelsea would be more than open to go back in for Victor Osimhen in January or maybe in the summer because they still value the player highly and the player would be open to the move because he still likes the idea of playing for Chelsea. However, this is where a lot of you are saying, what's going to change? Chelsea are going to lowball him. Chelsea have offered him pathetic money. And this is where I think in my last video I made about this, a lot of you got annoyed. And I don't understand why, because I can explain to you why Chelsea didn't offer him 4 million base. Chelsea offered him 4 million base, right? Meaning that is the base value he gets without, if he gets injured tomorrow, he will get paid that. On top of that, for the rest of the year, the goals he scored would have accumulated up to 2 million in bonuses net of tax. Furthermore, if Chelsea made the Champions League and if Osimhen plays well, Chelsea made the Champions League. It's as simple as that. He would have made 8 million altogether at the end of the year. He signed for Galatasaray for 9. And then why did he sign for Galatasaray? Well, apparently Victor Osimhen has sacked his agent or has broken ties with his agent and handled the negotiations with Galatasaray himself with an intermediary. Intermediaries are not his agents. It's a person that's in the middle who basically delegates for both sides. You're being unreasonable, you're being fair. Come on guys, we can meet in the middle over here. And he agreed to join there. However, he has a break clause, as Fabrizio has told us, of 75 million euros for 10 clubs to come get him in January. Will Chelsea do it? I don't know, because the reality is the wages are huge. He is a very good player, but like I said in the past, just because she's attractive does not mean you have to marry her. There are other things that you need to consider. And in this case, just because he's a very good football player does not mean you need to go and give him the huge wages and bring him to the club. People don't like that answer. I know a lot of people that watch my channel love Victor Osimhen. And more importantly, they get very defensive when I say I wouldn't want him at the club. But it's just my opinion. Nowhere am I lying about anything. He had an offer that could accumulate to 8 million. That's a fact. You can get angry and say it's only 4 because he had to work for the other 4. Well, of course he has to work for the other 4. Why would you pay somebody 8 million guaranteed and expect him to work hard? They're paying him 4 million and the other 4 you have to earn with good performances. That is the way football is going. The contracts that were given in the past are no longer given. And once you understand that, and it's not personal to Victor Osimhen. This could be to any player that Chelsea sign. Any player that Chelsea sign, they're going to offer these contracts. So that's the news. I hope you lot understand my stance now. And now we can keep it stepping with Chelsea-related news further. We have got a big problem. And I think people don't want to accept it. People don't want to mention it. I'm not going to hide away from it. Reece James being injured, the amount he's injured is a big, massive problem. Because Reece James being injured consistently causes a disharmony to the team. Reece James is a phenomenal player. Reece James is arguably our best player. And Reece James is very lucky in terms of when he got his new contract. When he got his contract, he got that 200k plus 50k in bonuses at a beautiful time per week where he was healthier, and all of a sudden he signs that deal and he's got job security for the next future. And more importantly, and this is the big one, he's getting paid the best at the club. But now, he hasn't played regularly for us for ages. And what happened this year? He had his surgery. People assumed that he was going to come raring to go for the season. He played a lot of pre-season. And he pulled a hamstring injury again. And Matt Law is saying he's going to struggle to be fit for that Bournemouth game. And this is where a lot of people are furious. I personally think, look, he's not trying to be injured himself. We're going to have to work around this, right? The contract's given to him. We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. This is not the time to have it. With Malo Gusto, he's pulled out of the under-21 French side because of his injury, and there's a race against time. Maybe he might not make it. So what I've seen online has made me laugh, because what I'm seeing is, oh, you know what you can do? You put Caicedo right back. Why? Why on earth would you put Caicedo right back? Please explain to me. Well, because then you could put Lavia and you could put Enzo in the team, and then Caicedo can be the auxiliary right back and come into the midfield. What a stupid thing, man. Can we just play players in their natural positions where they belong? For example, Axel Disasi should not play right back. Moises Caicedo should not play right back. Josh Achimpong should play right back. Listen, kids that come through the Cobham Academy that are ultra talented of the magnitude of Tariq George, Josh Achimpong, deserve to be given opportunities. And one way to give them opportunities is by showing them faith. You're selling them on the project. Listen, Malo's ahead of you, Reece is ahead of you. If they're injured and you're playing Disasi ahead of me, what on earth am I doing here? He's a centre back and you're playing him at right back. Why should I stay here if I'm not going to get a look in? He needs to be given the opportunity. And if he messes up, then you say, you know what, we dropped those points, but we had an inexperienced player. We're all about giving opportunities, and he will step up because he's the level of player to step up. He done it under Mauricio Pochettino when Poch brought him on against Spurs. He done very well, and so did, Gilchrist. Gilchrist did a very good job when he stepped up, and well done to Poch for doing that, actually, because I don't praise Poch enough for certain aspects, but Poch really gave Gilchrist trust minutes. Trust minutes turned into real minutes. Real minutes turned into Gilchrist got himself into the professional limelight. He got a goal in at Stamford Bridge, and he's got a memory for the rest of his life. So the reality is, I don't want to see Caicedo right back. I want to see Josh there, because that's how you promote Cobham, and that's how you promote meritocracy, and that's how you develop young players. And this is what we're being sold on, so I want you to make sure you deliver on that promise. Quick update in regards to two players that are back in full training and are training with Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time. Number one is Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia is currently in line to return for the Bournemouth game. What does that mean? It means that the player was basically rested for 2 games. They wanted to nurture what was happening with his hamstring, and it looks set to be coming back and playing against Bournemouth. This is coming from Matt Law, and he said basically in 2 weeks' time, they're ramping him up now to make sure he's ready for that first Bournemouth game. The same thing happened to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer has withdrawn himself from England duty, and he's going to be resting as he's going to be coming back to Chelsea and being in main training on a regular occurrence. The reality is Cole's played a lot of football. He went away to the Euros, he came back, he had 2 weeks off, then he came straight into pre-season, and he's played a lot since then. I think this is a smart decision. Rest him. Lee Carsley knows him very well. There is nothing for Cole to lose. He's proven to Lee Carsley on multiple occasions, like even at the under-21 Euros, that, look, you can count on me. He scored the winner in the final against Spain. And for me, this is one of those optimal situations where common sense prevailed. Wesley Fofana didn't go, Malo Gusto didn't go, and Cole Palmer didn't go. Wonderful. We can actually look after our players and they don't get injured. The final piece of news is regarding Ben Chilwell, right? And Ben Chilwell is a problem that hasn't gone away. And when I say problem, I don't mean he's a problem himself in the dressing room. I just mean the contract that he has is 200k a week. The contract that he was given, I think it was hasty. It was one where Viville played a big role apparently in the contract. I don't know how true that is. Personally, I think the whole board should get an asterisk against their name for that, because there was no need to give Ben Chilwell a new contract. Ben Chilwell was on the decline. 190k was a lot of money to give a player of this magnitude. Yes, he had a lot of authority in the dressing room, but your authority doesn't mean nothing when you don't contribute on the pitch as much as you once did. He is not as good as Cucurella. I don't think he's as good as Renato Vega. I genuinely think he's a player that really depended on his physical attributes. And now that those injuries have taken their toll, his technical attributes and his IQ level is just not up to par to make it evolve his game. I think he needs to go somewhere where he's going to play. And the outlet, according to Matt Law, is Turkey. He's got an option, apparently, to go to Turkey. Fenerbahce have inquired. But I think this is a very easy link to make. Oh, Ben Chilwell, link to Fenerbahce. Jose Mourinho likes Premier League players. Oh, of course this deal is going to happen. I don't know. For me, this does not feel right. This does not sit right with me. I personally do not think this deal will happen. I think Ben Chilwell will be a player that just sticks around till January, and then Chelsea are going to find a way to get rid of him. They're either going to pay him off or he's going to leave. But I think Chelsea's alternative will be basically to get him out, get someone to cover a majority of his wages, and then we'll move from there. But this was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed the latest Chelsea news. Like I said, hit the like button. 1,000 likes go a miracle. And more importantly, subscribe if you like this content. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.